The Indictus is the first day of the new liturgical year. So on September 1st, rather than January 1st, this is when we celebrate the new year, at least the new year of the church. All right? And on our website is, both in Greek and English, is the pastoral letter that comes from our patriarch. And most of you probably know that our patriarch is referred to as the Green Patriarch because of his concerns for the environment and ecology. At the end of the message, he refers to Metropolitan John of Pergamon, who is Bishop John Zizioulas, who is regarded as one of the premier modern theologians of our time, of blessed memory now. Okay, and he wrote a book called Priest of Creation. And the idea of this, it ties in very, very well with the overarching theme of who we are as Orthodox Christians, all right? And so he says, our patriarch says in here, in recognizing the contribution of Metropolitan John of Pergamum on this occasion of the Feast of the Indiction, he writes on the Holy Eucharist as the holistic response, meaning the ontological response of our participation in this world, in creation. And what Bishop John does is he speaks of it as a gift that God the Father creates creation and gives it to us as a gift, okay? And what Bishop John says is that if it is given as a gift, then it must be received as a gift. And so the problem today has become is that due to Adam's fall, his sin of pride, what was God's gift to us, Adam saw as his possession to subdue and dominate. And that culture continues all the way up to today. So that creation is no longer seen as a gift, it is seen as a possession that must be utilized. It's seen as something that we take that belongs rightfully to us as gods ourselves, that we have created for ourselves, and that we use it to our own benefit. And Bishop John is saying this is at the heart of what the ecological problem is. So he's saying we can do all of these wonderful things in order to preserve our ecology, to preserve our environment, to preserve nature, but it is all for naught if we do not see what it is. And it is given to us in a gift. And Bishop John says that in the liturgy, this is why you hear the words "ta'aya tis aias," and we translate that as the holy gifts are for the holy. And what are those gifts? Those gifts are the material creation that God has given us. The bread and the wine, they represent our connection with nature, that we are connected as created beings to everything that He has created. And at the core of the Patriarch's message is this is what we should recognize as the root of the problem of climate change and ecology and all of those things. Is not all of these wonderful saving measures, because I'm not saying that's not good, but if at the core, nature is something that we possess and use for our own means, then nothing is going to save us in terms of climate. The only climate in the created world. What he's saying is that recognition every Sunday that those gifts, thine own of thine own, right? When they lift up the cup, right? Thine own of thine own, we proclaim in the liturgy that it belongs to Him. And we, as the stewards of that, as the priests of creation, we offer that back to Him. And we give Him thanks for the gift that he has given us. This is the way to understand the last line, because I'm telling you right now, the last line of the patriarch's message will be misunderstood. He says, the sacredness that accompanies such an attitude, the attitude being that we must treat the divine, we must treat nature as the gift given to us by God. This is diametrically opposed or opposite of technology and the answer to our ecological problem. And people will take that statement and they will say, the patriarch is against technology and he doesn't want any technology and he wants us all to live as monks. This is not what he's saying here. But this is why it's important to understand. What he is saying is that in order for us to restore the balance that has been lost between the relationship of man and nature, what we are to do is understand it as a gift and not a possession. And that's what he means by technology, meaning that we use technology to help us more efficiently mine something, or to more efficiently use plants, or to more efficiently destroy rainforests. That's the technology that he's talking about. And none of that can change unless we see it as thine own of thine own, the holy gifts being for the holy.